Hey everybody, hope you're having a good day. Now, if you're looking at Final Fantasy XIV videos, you've probably noticed that the embargo for details shared on the media tour have been lifted. Personally, I think my invite to the media tour got lost in the mail, so instead, today I'm going to go ahead and look at the updated benchmark for Dawntrail and share some of my thoughts. I know that the benchmark was released, I think, like a little over a month ago, but there were a ton of complaints, and even though I looked at the benchmark on my stream over at twitch.tv/grimwittv, I decided not to post a video because shortly after the benchmark came out, Square Enix issued a statement talking about how there were some problems, some bugs that they still wanted to fix in the benchmark, and that they would be releasing a new version coming out towards the end of May. Now, I think that got delayed a little bit. No big deal though. We're here today and we're gonna be taking a look and seeing what we think. Before we do that though, scroll down real quick, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, do all the YouTube stuff. It really helps me out. All right, before we take a look at the benchmark, we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at the letter released by producer-director Naoki Yoshida, talking about some of the reasons why they released an updated benchmark. Okay, so we're not going to read all of this word for word, but I just want to kind of skim over it and hit some of the main points that he talks about in this letter. So first item on the agenda, he's talking about the updated benchmark release date. I think they were estimating towards the end of May. We can read right here. He says during the recent letter from the producer live, he estimated at the very end of May, and it got pushed back to the 3rd of June. Again, who cares? It's a few days. It's not the end of the world. Review and configuration of character creation's environmental parameters. So here, well, before I try to summarize it, why don't we just go ahead and read it? Various environmental parameters such as lighting, positioning of light sources, and weather for the environmental maps have all been reconfigured to match the first round of graphical updates. So if you guys aren't aware, a lot of complaints came out after the first benchmark was released, talking about how the lighting still didn't seem quite right, especially in the character creation screen, which we're going to spend a lot of time in coming up here. And on top of that, a lot of the updates that they'd made to environments had not yet been integrated into the benchmark, and I guess they wanted to re-release it to show off that stuff. Lighting in the character creation's ethereal background, so that's the one with the blue starry night sky in the back and no foliage or environment stuff, very basic bare bones. This background was originally designed with the concept of an area where ether courses freely, and this imagery was reinforced with the use of blue lighting. However, the blue colored tint made it difficult to visualize what a character's skin tone would look like under normal lighting. That's super true. And it's important because if you guys have spent any kind of time in the character creation, or if you ever use the, what's it called? The esthetician, the haircut guy, this is probably one of the best environments to actually get even lighting, just because of the way that they've positioned light sources. However, like he's talking about here, because of that blue tint, you don't get accurate colors. So with this edition, they were able to fulfill requests from players who had wanted a photo studio-like environment, similar to what screenshot enthusiasts recreate with in-game housing. So as seen in the image above, selecting the clock icon allows you to adjust the lighting and time of day of the displayed background. This is actually a totally new feature, I believe. I haven't seen this at all yet. Obviously, down here you can see the differences in lighting before and after. Obviously, it's going to look better. That's the screenshot they're going to show us. We'll dive in a second, though, to see for ourselves. And then moving down, we see they made some adjustments to pupil highlights and lip gloss. The old highlights, which were drawn in using textures and consequently did not change based on lighting positions and other factors, have been removed and replaced with new highlights that are rendered based on lighting processes. So I've actually heard about this. I've tried to avoid too much news about some of the updates in the benchmark, just because I don't want to spoil myself, because I knew I wanted to make this video. But yeah, I have heard about this, how before the highlights in the eyes were fixed and now they're working properly as intended. So when we get into the character creation, we should actually see lights being reflected in the eyes in real time. And same thing with the lips. All right, I don't want to take too much longer here, but this is another thing that I think is important: correction of low resolution sections of hair. So many of these has simply not been addressed in time, he says. But in regard to issues such as low resolution textures remaining only in certain sections of certain hairstyles, we referenced player feedback to ensure nothing was left out as we updated them with high resolution textures. So you can see here, like this is some of the old textures underneath. I think specifically like this layer of hair right here. It's actually super obvious here on the left where you can tell like this part on top has gotten the new textures and this one is still like super pixelated and old looking and grainy and terrible. And it looks like they've gone back to touch up these areas and make sure that they're actually displaying properly. All right, finally, the main event. Okay, this is the part I kind of care about the most. I definitely want to see the benchmark play out. I want to see like the differences, but I saw the last benchmark. I imagine the lighting and stuff, of course, is going to be updated. It's going to look nicer, but this is really, really what I want to see is the character creation updates. One of my problems with the game I've had before is that when you are creating a character, like the lighting and stuff in the character creator is so awkward that your character, you end up getting out of it, and your character, while obviously like is more or less still the same, just like a lot of things, like especially things with color, hair is not too big a deal because you can always change that in game, but skin color gets affected in the character creator kind of negatively, and it's always been something that's bothered me. Is there supposed to be this bar up here? Isn't it supposed to go full screen, or? Hang on, let's return real quick. Maybe I'm fucking up a setting here. One sec. Okay, lol. I think we fixed it. I don't know why it came up in windowed. Why would that be the default? It's to bring up the character creator in windowed mode. Stupid. All right, sorry about that, guys. Come on, let's go. Okay. Pre-made Midlander. Boring. Create a new character. Let's go from scratch. Yes, let's try a Midlander boy. Yes. Height, muscle, don't care that much. Shit, I didn't have the faces memorized. I don't have a Midlander boy as my character. I feel like I recognize this face. I feel like I recognize this face. I don't know if I recognize this face, but it's not surprising. It's terrible. No one should use this. This might be worse. This weirdly doesn't offend me as much. This is not this. There's no way this is new, right? Jesus Christ, I am the least prepared YouTuber in the entire world. This is such a terrible video. I'm sorry, guys. Well, regardless, this is the least offensive face. We're going with it. Skin color. Let's try something a little darker. Because I'm curious. I know one of the things that they've been focused on is making darker skin tones not look so flat when lighting isn't as present in the environment. So let's go ahead and try that out. And then for hairstyle, let's do something that lets us see his face a little bit more. This is good. Okay. For hair, let's do something that really contrasts with what he's got going on here. Yeah. Jaw, doesn't matter that much. Doesn't matter that much. Doesn't matter that much. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm being really dumb. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be focusing on the character creation environment. Duh. I will say, spinning him around, because I don't have a side-by-side, it's hard for me to remark. I'm like, oh, wow, it looks so much better now. But before we go to the other environments, let's go ahead and try this. Adjust lighting and time of day. Oh, so there's really only... So it's weird it says adjust lighting and time of day, but there's really only two options, huh? Okay. So this seems like more of like a regular daytime, maybe? And this is more of like dusk or dawn, perhaps? Like a warmer lighting. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I look like kind of an idiot. I don't know that much about how in-game lighting graphics work. I do know a thing or two, believe it or not, about lighting video stuff in real life. You know, so I can talk about like 3-point lighting or the temperature, but you know, as for like, I don't know, lighting terms in game, like subsurface scattering, is that something? When it comes to that, I'm kind of just, I'm just the Kevin James meme. But I can tell you what looks good and what looks bad. And I can show you, more importantly. That's the advantage of video, right? Anyways, let's check out some of these other environments. I'm curious to see how he looks when we take him outside. Oh, interesting. Okay. So these two lighting options. Oh, when you go outside, it actually does tell you it's not just option 1 and 2. It's like midday and evening. That's cool. Actually, like really cool. He looks really good here, right? Like the way the shadows are going across his face here, particularly like considering how dark it is, like look at like the brow. Look at how like, can we go in further? Yeah, look at how like nicely textured this brow is, and you don't lose detail. You lose a little bit. I mean, you kind of can't help it, but I mean, even when we're facing away from the light and even at nighttime, you can still make out like these textures on his face. That's really good. That's a big step up. I mean, listen, I'm not going to pretend like this is the prettiest game I've ever seen. It's obviously not. But as far as MMOs, it's near the top now. I would say this is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead. Let's change this to midday. This is curious, but it's actually a really good, this is actually a really good angle to look at for midday, because again, now the lighting is coming from behind. So his face is cast in shadow, but look at how you can still see, like under the eyes in particular, you really see shadow still playing on his face, right? Like before, I feel like it would have looked very, very flat. And I've seen a lot of characters in game with like darker skin tones, especially at night. Like just walk up to any character at night with darker skin tones and look at them. They just look incredibly flat, incredibly untextured, incredibly low detail. It's not good. This is very clearly a big step up. Oh shit. Hang on. Let's angle the camera down a little bit and then twist him around. Look at the lights in the eyes here. I hope this is like translating well to video. I know it can get a little bit, it can be a little tough to see because this is a very like small detail. But as we're spinning him around, you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different highlights in his eye. And they're all, well, oh, hang on. So there's this one right here, right next to his pupil. That one actually looks like it's still drawn on. That one doesn't look like it's reacting to the environment. But you can see like 4 or 5 other dots in there. 4 or 5 other little highlights, kind of dancing across his eyes and reacting in real time as we're spinning him around. That is really good. Also, holy God, look at the detail under the eye here when we get the sunlight actually hitting him head on. That's really good. I will say, well, this is probably not the best hairstyle to compare. Let's find a hairstyle that already exists in the game. What's a common one that we see? I see people with this quite a bit. I will say, one thing that I've noticed in a lot of like the examples that Square Enix has kind of like published online as part of this whole graphic update thing, is that the shadows cast by the hair are actually greatly improved. And as we kind of like move them around, they definitely look a lot more dynamic than they used to, or than they do right now. Also, I'm not going to say that like this is the best looking hair I've ever seen. It's clearly not. But the way that shadows work in this hair with like layers that are very close together, it's actually doing a lot for this hair. It's still obviously very stylized. There's no way you're going to get away from that in this game. I mean, you're going to have anime hair. It's just, you know, them's the rules. But I will say these textures look a lot less pixelated than they did before, for sure. Absolutely. And again, the way that shadows are working within these layers looks actually really nice. I'm really impressed with this, actually. Also, I know this isn't like exactly what we came here to see, but look at some of these textures on the clothes. Like, The metal stands out a lot. Right here around his neck, obviously, but down here, these little buckles, these look really good. And look at the difference, too, between the leather parts here around his collar and the actual, like, more cotton or textile fabric for the rest of the shirt. Oh, actually, look right here. See this leather used as, like, the trim? Like, that looks like leather. Again, I don't know how well you guys can see this. But if you can full screen the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Or just download the benchmark and go see it for yourselves. This looks really incredible. Oh my god. And watch this metal piece down here as we move the camera. Look at the way the light reflects off that. And look at the way that those reflections sort of change as we rotate the camera. That looks really good. Holy shit, I'm really impressed. Okay, I think we've spent enough time on this boy. There's one thing else I wanted to check. Wait. Stop. Yes, quit. Fuck you. I do want to double check the cat girls with the fangs. Cat girls. Confirm. The moon ones. The moon ones are the ones with the fangs. Let's go to... Let's pick something where we can actually get up close to her face. There we go. Oh, actually, hang on. No, we have to go voice, right? Because we need her to... Oh my god. Stop moving so much. Okay. I don't know if you guys got a really good look. It was a little difficult for me, but even with all the commotion and motion going on, you can tell those fangs are, yeah, right there, a lot more visible. Looking really good. Let's try to get a low angle here. Yeah, the teeth look a lot better, actually. Oh, speaking of which, we should look at Lalafell's next. And again, here with this, with our little cat girl waifu, darker skin tone, looking really good in terms of like reflections coming off the skin. Looks really nice. Let's try actually interior. Yeah, so this is currently in the actual builds of the game that's live right now. This is probably like the worst environment. Like the lighting is really low, which really just doesn't help like skin details, hair details, that kind of stuff. But even in here, you can tell, you know, I mean, it's low light, so you're not gonna see as much detail as when you blast her with a floodlight in the face. But just check out those shadows as we move her around a little bit. Pay attention again to the eyes too. We're getting that same kind of, here we go. Yeah, I think see this one right here, right on the inside, right next to the pupil. I think this one is actually still a drawn on highlight. Yeah, she has one over here on this side too. That's actually really weird. It looks like here it's on the edge of her pupil. This one looks like almost in the middle. Am I making that up or? No, that's true. That is true. Look, that one's not moving. That's interesting. I think they still are going to have to fix that. I actually don't mind the drawn on highlights in the eyes. It's not necessarily a bad idea. Sometimes, I mean, you're bound to have some environments that you don't account for when you're making these adjustments to lighting and shadows and reflections and all that stuff. You're bound to have some environments that you just aren't thinking of, that nobody catches, where there just isn't like a good natural source of light coming into a character's eyes in like a cutscene or something. And you really don't want to lose a highlight in a character's eyes because of that. It just, as we were looking at in the letter beforehand, it looks really, really bad when you don't have highlights in the eyes. Your character looks just like absolutely dead inside. Kind of like that little trick that they do in anime when, a character is just like, it's like a sudden morbid realization and their eyes are just devoid of life. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it's a cute effect in anime, but it's not the kind of thing that you want to pop up on your player character in an MMO, especially if it's unintentional. It's just going to look really awkward. But let's go ahead and actually hang on. Oh no. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this environment, this interior environment actually doesn't have adjustable time of day lighting. Curious. Okay. I'm not mad at it. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. I clicked this without being smart, but it's time to turn our attention to the background here, guys. And ooh, again, it's hard for me to compare. I'm just going off of my memory, which admittedly is not the best. But looking at the background here, the grass looks really, really good. I hope this is coming through okay on YouTube. I know sometimes like the way that foliage on the ground, when it gets to be like a little bit more populous, it can look a little grainy, a little weird after you like compress a video and upload it to YouTube. So I hope we're not losing like too much detail here. But I will say, you know, on my end, seeing this in real time, this looks pretty good. One of the things that I've been really excited to see, and that we'll see in the benchmark in a few minutes here, is the new zones in Dawntrail. I really, really, really love. I really love how much foliage there is. I was actually running around in Elpis yesterday, helping out one of my friends with some main scenario questing, and yeah, it was kind of, I love Elpis. It's a really cool looking zone, really unique, really awesome, but I just couldn't help but notice that, like, you know, for a zone that's supposed to be really grassy, where all the textures are literally green with grass, it's kind of awkward how there's not that much grass actually poking up, you know? So hopefully that gets updated. But yeah, I will say, as we turn our character around, this looks really good. Like, this is in Thanalan, I believe, and this is meant to be like more of like a Sahara, kind of a plainsy area. Looks really nice with the added foliage. Definitely looks a lot more like a realistic environment would, right? Now let's check on our Lalafels. Specifically, let's check on their teeth. Oh, actually, okay, hang on. We're gonna check on the Lalafels, and then we're gonna make a female Rothgar, a new race in the game. Okay, little lady. There's only one thing I want to see from you. That sounded kind of weird. Ew. Open up them chompers. Go. Oh yeah, much better. In case you guys didn't see any of the posts on Reddit or anything, there was like a huge oversight that the team made when they were putting in Lalafell teeth, and that they looked like they had like a dolphin teeth, a dolphin set of teeth. It was really off-putting and really disturbing. Probably one of the most disturbing things I've seen in my entire life. Holy shit, by the way. Look, so this is the, I can't remember which Lalafell clan this is, the one with like the emptier eyes. It's really important to include highlights on these like emptier eyes, and oh my god, just look at this. Look at the highlights kind of like dance across the eyes. And even when we're not facing the light source, we have light bouncing off of other things in the environment, hitting her eyes. Oh yeah, that looks really good. All right, let's see those teeth again. That's good, yeah. Teeth in video games. I've said this before, other people have said it before. This is not an original thought, but just so that it's on the record for this video, teeth just work better as like one solid object. Don't try to be like the Sonic movie from before they fixed it, you know? Just make teeth one thing and be done with it. It looks better, all right? Every time. Okay. Real quick, I don't want to take too much time on this. Oh shit, hang on, I didn't mean to go back. Ah shit, I didn't mean to back all the way out. Real quick, I didn't spend too much time on the last benchmark, just because I knew it was going to get updated anyways. But I think this is as good a time as any to go over what the female Rothgar are going to look like and what our character creation options for them are going to look like. Right off the bat, I didn't notice this in like the live letter presentations or anything like that. I didn't even notice this in the last benchmark. But you guys may not know this. Even if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably don't know this. I have a massive fucking hate boner for zippers in this game. I just hate them so much. There are so many things, and I know, listen, this is a personal thing. Hang on, I'm sorry. We need a full screen for this. This is a PP. This is a personal problem, okay? This is a me thing. If you disagree, that's totally valid. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's not valid. If you disagree, you have to let me know in the comments below. Here's my thing, okay? In this world, we are living in an agricultural society. Why are there zippers? Why do people in our civilization, in our culture, have access to zippers? How? You don't have the manufacturing necessary to do this. There's no way it's practical to make zippers. Like, you just don't. I'm realizing right now that I'm interrupting a video about the benchmark to talk about zippers. We need to get off of this. We need to move on. Let's go ahead and see what our options are. So I've never made a Rothgar before. I've never really tooled around in the character creator with one. I'm not a furry in real life, and I don't want to be one in a game. But yeah, might as well check it out since it's the new race. Let's see, Helians. I don't know about this one. Actually, here's a curious. Okay, so I will say right off the bat, I do like the default face here. I like the more animalistic features, like with the fangs and stuff. This one looks like a little too weirdly humanoid, and with that nose, it just kind of is a little off-putting to me. But I just want to see if we pick this one, what are the face options? Can we get something that's a little bit more lion-like? And the answer is yes, actually. Yeah, wow, look at that. That looks pretty good. I mean, you know, again, I'm not, you know, this isn't really my thing, but for research purposes, this is weird. What are these ridges here? Is that like, hang on, is that like a facial feature we can turn on and off? Let's see. It's gotta be, right? Nope, these are just eyeshadow things. These are hair, or not hair, ear features. Oh yeah, so we can get the extra curly ears, or just have them go up straight like that. Extra curly is obviously better. Yeah, so we can't turn off these ridges here, but we can give her a nice, that's a very dashing mustache, I will say. I don't want to have to look at this face throughout the benchmark, so let's change to something else. This is pretty good, I think. Hairstyle's pretty good too. Is this from Vieira, or is this all new for Rothgars? We'll leave the skin color alone. Let's check out the hairstyle real quick. Holy God, I hope that the unlockable hairstyles are going to be available in game, because holy shit, one row of hairstyles? Come on, dude, really?
That's pretty flex.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it gives you... Oh, wait, and you can just take the pattern off here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's almost like having like shoulder tattoos, except obviously because they're furries, it's like a fur pattern. Okay. I almost wish they had... Oh, wait, hang on. I was about to say, I almost wish they had included different patterns, but it looks like they read my mind ahead of time. Wow. Okay. All right. You know what? Again, not exactly my thing, but I can appreciate this. I think this is I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Actually, I'll leave this on. I don't hate this. I think this is all right. Did the jaws change all that much? Not really. Let's give her a strong jaw. She's a strong, independent woman. She deserves a strong jaw. And very strong, discerning eyes. I don't care that much about this stuff. Wow, the way that they do eyebrows for Rothgars is kind of interesting, actually. Because it's not like something that you can just like, it's not just like a weird texture that you can apply to a face. It's like you actually have to change the brow. Like you actually have to move the brow like up and down. That actually is pretty interesting. Is this just changing like the nose size and general shape, but not like, yeah, nothing too drastic here. Okay. Fang length. Well, right now we don't have any fangs, so let's see. All right. Okay, so you can go fangless, mild fang, or really fanged. Let's go mild fang. I think mild fang is pretty good. I actually like that look. That's pretty good. I don't hate this at all. Oh, okay. So hang on. For a different face, we have different face features. Okay, let's take her outside. Yeah, this blue actually looks pretty good in the sun. So what is this? Oh, this is just like extra tufts of fur at the tips of the ears. Okay. What is this? Just like lion eyeshadow? Sure. Oh, you can go like eyebrowless. You can take the eyebrows off completely. Actually, that actually looks more cat-like. Hang on, when we take the eyebrows off though, and then we go back here and change eyebrows, it still changes the shape of the brow. That's cool. I actually really appreciate that. Yeah, okay, yeah, let's make her like a real... Do real furries have eyebrows? I don't know if I wanted to answer that question. Face paint. I see. They kind of gave us like the usual options that they give most characters. Speaking of which, do these still look like shit? Hang on. Yeah. This still kind of looks like trash. A lot of these face paint options have always like looked really pixelated. Although weirdly enough, I think being on fur actually kind of helps. Like the fact that it's pixelated doesn't look so terrible when it's on fur. Let's hear our voices. Nah, I like to go with laughs. They're joyous. Okay. I don't have too many thoughts on these, but it's good to see that there's like a good selection. Alright, let's take off this terrible face paint. Let's finalize our selection. Save appearance data? No, that's okay, I don't care. No. Oh, I guess we have to. Okay. Fine. Lion. Arr. Data saved. Let's go. All right, let's hit confirm and let's get this benchmark rolling, guys. I'm just realizing now we're not going to be able to pause as we watch it. That's okay. I am so happy with the improvement. Look at the way the waves are coming off the side of the boat. That is such a good detail. Oh shit, she looks good. Oh my god, man, I'm gonna play her off guard. Oh my god, hang on. Official benchmark. Here we go. Okay, so this is like a lower light environment, especially right here. Oh. I will say, this doesn't look terrible, but I will say, I think when we were looking at pictures of that shot specifically on skin, I think it looked better than on her fur. But we'll see. I'm not counting her out yet. All right. I will say, one thing I can notice here is that her eyes definitely do stand out a little bit more than they did in the benchmark previously, for sure. I'm so excited for this stuff, dude. This feels so cool. The rock formation is just like, it's gonna these are all not my character. I'm pretty sure, I can say this with like 99% confidence, 99.99% confidence, we're not going to get the option to do attacks to automatically dismount us, but that would be so cool if we did. I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the shout effect that kind of makes like those weird ripples in the air, I feel like that wasn't in the last one. Could be making that up. Oh man, that guy, the big guy's skin there looks really good. And oh my god, those new crystals are gonna look amazing. I mean, the crystals in this game are already one of the best looking things. Probably just because they're like random big pieces of shiny texture, but like that one looked really good. The reflections on those eyes too. They made those eyes that big just to show off. You cannot convince me otherwise. Also, this girl is yoked, man. Look at those arms. Jesus Christ. Let's go for that. I love these little, I don't know if they're going to have this in the actual game, in the actual zones that we play in, but those little herds of animals running around, they do so much for the environment. It looks so good. It's just to have like these cute little herds of animals running around. It just looks great. So it's hard to see it here because so much of this is like on stone, but like you can see at the edges of the map, they've put in like little tufts of like foliage here. That might have already been the last benchmark, but it's still one point out. I think it's really good. This has got to be the yellow, right? She's charging it up right now. Here we go. That is anime as hell. That lighting looked really good in that final shot right there. Like the shadows looked really nice. The eyes just popped. Extremely high, not right now. Man, so many of these job sets. I wish I could pause right here. I do want to like take a look at a lot of these. Maybe we'll do that later in a later video. Yeah, right on. Okay. Wait, 18,128. Jesus. I thought on the last benchmark I was getting over 20,000. Well, whatever. All right, well, cool. I mean, I apologize. I feel a little bit bad for you guys that I couldn't make some like more substantive direct comparisons between this benchmark and the last one. But before Dawntrail comes out, we've only got a couple weeks, and I did want to put something out to sort of like get my thoughts out there for you guys. So hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys keep your eyes peeled on the channel. We've got a lot more Dawntrail stuff coming out, and I think we're going to be, in the meantime, before Dawntrail comes out, I think we'll be diving back into Destiny 2, seeing if the final shape is going to appeal to me. If you want to find out, keep your eyes peeled here. All right, guys. Peace out.